I thought marriage was built on trust. For years, I worked hard, sacrificed my comfort, and gave my wife everything she asked for. But I began noticing the small cracks, unanswered calls, late nights, sudden secrecy. My gut screamed the truth. I didn't want to face. She was cheating. I stayed quiet at first, gathering evidence in silence. If betrayal was her choice, exposure would be mine. And I wasn't going to confront her behind closed doors. No. The truth would be revealed where she least expected it, publicly, in a way she could never deny. The opportunity came during a family gathering. Relatives, friends, even community. Members were present. She arrived, smiling like the perfect wife, pretending everything was fine. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to stay calm. I had spent weeks preparing for this moment, collecting messages, photos, hotel receipts. Every detail of her affair was neatly documented. She thought she had me fooled, but tonight the mask would come off. Tonight, everyone would see the woman she truly was. I waited until the conversations grew comfortable, until all eyes could witness what was about to unfold. When the moment felt right, I stood. My voice trembled at first, but grew stronger with every word. "I want to thank everyone for being here tonight," I said. She smiled, unaware of what was coming. "But there's something I need to share. Something about the woman I trusted." The room grew quiet. My wife's smile faded. I pulled out a folder from my bag and placed it on the table. "This isn't just my pain, it's the truth." Gasps echoed as I slowly opened the file, revealing photos of her with another man. Silence swept the room. Her face turned pale. "That's not what it looks like," she stammered, reaching for the papers. But I didn't stop. I laid out receipts, hotel bookings, even private chats. Each piece was undeniable. The crowd that once adored her now stared in disbelief. Whispers filled the air. She tried to speak, but her voice cracked. Her lies crumbled in front of everyone. I had given her every chance to confess, but she chose betrayal. And now, her betrayal was laid bare for all to see. There was no escape, no excuses. Just the brutal truth. The humiliation hit her like a storm. She looked around desperately for support, but no one moved. Her family avoided her eyes. Friends shook their heads in disgust. She tried to blame me, to twist the story, but the evidence spoke louder than her words. "You set me up," she cried. I stayed silent, letting the documents scream for me. The more she fought, the more she exposed her guilt. Finally, she broke down, sobbing, begging for the whispers to stop. But once the truth is revealed in public, it cannot be buried again. The fallout didn't end that night. Days later, she tried to fight me legally. Her lawyer reached out, demanding property, compensation, and custody rights. They thought I was broken, vulnerable. But they underestimated me. I had one last piece of evidence, stronger than all the photos and receipts. A signed agreement. A document she had carelessly put her name on years ago, giving up her rights. If she was ever caught betraying me, it was ironclad, notarized, and legally binding. The very contract she dismissed as just paperwork now became her undoing. In the courtroom, she sat beside her lawyer, confident at first. She whispered, smirked, and avoided my gaze. But when my lawyer slid the document across the table, the atmosphere shifted. Her lawyer picked it up, read it carefully, and froze. The color drained from his face. He tried to speak, but no words came. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Do you contest this document?" Silence. Her lawyer lowered his head, defeated. My wife's eyes widened as she realized what it meant. Everything she hoped to take from me was gone, with a single piece of paper. She turned to her lawyer, panicked. "Say something," she demanded, but he stayed silent, knowing the truth. That document ended everything. The property was mine. The assets were safe. She had nothing. Her betrayal not only destroyed our marriage, but it stripped her of the future she thought she could steal. In that courtroom, surrounded by strangers, she broke down again, But this time, her tears weren't just shame, they were fear. She realized she had lost everything because of her greed, her lies, and her betrayal. Revenge had spoken silently, but louder than any scream. When the case ended, I walked out free, my dignity intact. She, on the other hand, was left with nothing but regret. The same people who once admired her now whispered about her betrayal. She had ruined herself, not just privately, but publicly. The man she cheated with abandoned her too, unwilling to deal with the fallout. Alone, disgraced, and broken, she finally understood the cost of betraying someone who gave her everything. But by then, it was far too late. Betrayal is a debt that always comes due, and she paid with her entire life. Today, when I look back, I don't feel anger anymore. I feel relief. I discovered her affair, exposed her lies, and watched her collapse under the weight of her own choices. She was caught cheating in public, and even her lawyer went silent when faced with the truth written in black and white. My story isn't about revenge, it's about justice. Sometimes silence, patience, and one document can destroy what lies cannot hide. And so I moved forward, stronger than ever, while she lives with the consequences of the betrayal that ended everything.